Happy Glacier Science Day! It's Ranger Melissa. I'm back for another episode of our Glacier Science video series.
I'm so excited today. I'm standing here in West Glacier and it's a beautiful day here. It's there's all these really tall different coniferous trees around me and it's about 70 degrees, so it's a perfect day, and I'm going to learn all about this wonderful air we have here in Glacier National Park. We are going to meet up with Ed Eberhardy, who's our physical scientist here in Glacier National Park and works on monitoring the air quality in Glacier. So I'm really excited to meet up with Ed today, although I'm a little confused because he told me to meet him on my bike. So I'm going to go down to the Air bike path and I'm going to find him, and then we're going to bike to the air quality monitoring site. All right, let's go. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Melissa.
Happy Glacier Science Day!
All right.
Thanks for meeting us today. I'm so excited to learn all about air quality in Glacier National Park. I'm a little out of breath right now. I think I need to breathe some air. But today we're gonna head out with you and go to this monitoring site. But I was just curious, like, it says that you're a physical scientist, but I don't know if I'm totally sure what that means. What do you do?
A physical scientist does many different things and wears many different hats, but in this park, primarily my main job is to measure the air quality throughout the park. I also do things that deal with water quality, lakes and streams, a little bit with dark skies, so many different aspects of what helps create the visitor experience.
Great, I'm so excited to learn more, but why am I on a bike and what's that about?
So we're on bikes because traveling by bicycle is a great way to have less emissions and help keep the air cleaner. And then all of this is all the gear we need to go to the air quality site and change out filters and
So
calibrate
we're going to
machines.
use all that
We're going to
today.
use all of that today.
Awesome. Okay, I'm excited to learn more and I'm going to follow you.
All right,
Okay, let's go.
let's go.
Wow, Ed, I can't believe it. I never knew that all of this was back here. I mean, I've been by this site a bunch, but there's so much equipment and different things that I didn't know about. Can you tell us a little bit about what's back here and what it's used for? Just give us a little overview.
Yeah,
of it.
absolutely. So a lot happens back here. We measure precipitation down to the 100th of an inch.
Wow.
In that precipitation, we capture things out of the atmosphere and then we can measure them. So we have one device that measures all kinds of things from rainwater, including sodium, potassium, calcium, sulfate, ammonium, and a whole host of other things as a complete rainwater analysis. We also capture mercury out of the atmosphere via rainwater.
Okay, so that's all the stuff that's in the air, but you're getting the information because it's in the rain.
Yep, a different way to measure would be with filters, and we measure a whole host of things that way too, including organics and inorganics and sulfates and nitrates and ammonium and all of those things again.
Wait a minute, you lost me here. Okay, hold on a second. So you just said organics and inorganics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little confused because I'm trying to figure out what organic thing is out. Like,
Oh
what,
yes, pollen. Pollen is a huge
Oh,
influencer
yeah.
of air quality, as well as
Yeah.
smoke. Smoke is a large component of air quality, specifically during fire season and in the fall, depending on where you live.
Yeah, okay, so like the little particles in the air are organic.
Yep.
And the inorganic things would be like what you just said, like the mercury and
Potassium and the
Potassium.
elemental
Okay.
items.
I
yes.
see.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, great.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we also measure ozone, which at ground level ozone has a very different influence than high atmosphere level ozone. It affects human health if it's in too high of levels,
Oh,
and it can
wow.
also affect plants and vegetation.
I did not know that. That's okay, that's really good to know.
Yeah, we do that. And then also here at the site, we measure all the normal things that everyone thinks about when they think of weather and air. So wind speed, relative humidity, temperature, all of the normal.
Very cool. This is so exciting. You know, I would love to be able to dive into some of this equipment a little bit more and get some hands-on. Can you take us to some of these?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
All right,
Okay,
Melissa,
where am
this is a mercury deposition sampler, and we're gonna change the sample bottle.
Okay, sounds good.
You've got your gloves on.
I got gloves.
I'm gonna pretend it's raining with a little water.
Oh man. Okay, what happens next?
And then
Whoa, it's starting to move.
Yep, the machine has a little eye to the sky is
Yeah.
what I like to call it. Moves
Okay.
the lid. This side's the sample side. This side is not the
So
sample
now it
side.
thinks it's raining.
Now it thinks it's raining.
Okay.
I'm gonna lower this,
Okay.
and then I need you to reach in here and grab the sample bottle.
Okay.
Now we get to put the new sample bottle in.
I'm ready.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna open the bag.
There's stuff in it.
There is.
What's in it?
There is a buffer solution of hydrochloric acid, which preserves the mercury between when it rains and when the lab analyzes it.
Aha!
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So pop the lid off there.
And then for the sample that we took, I saw that you put it in a cooler.
Yep, so the samples get shipped in a cooler, which just protects them. They're sent to a lab in Madison, Wisconsin that analyzes them.
Where's the mercury coming from? Like, how does it get in the atmosphere?
So mercury primarily comes from industry. It's mainly emissions from different types of manufacturing and factories. And it's often brought into the park from faraway places because air masses move and carry things throughout the country. A lot of the air in the park, or all of it, comes from somewhere else. Thankfully, mercury here in the park hasn't really increased or decreased. It's been a pretty constant low level.
Yes,
which
that's
is,
awesome.
yep, we're happy to see.
So now we're done with the mercury. What are you going to show us next? Are you going to show us another piece of equipment?
Yeah, should we check out the ozone?
Yes, I want
Traction?
to. Yes, I have lots of questions for you.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, so we are at the ozone building.
Kinda. It's actually a lot more goes on in here than just ozone.
Okay.
There are ozone analyzers, and they have to be inside a shed because they require a controlled environment to accurately measure how much ozone is in the air.
Okay.
But then there's also another filter device on here, some other just general weather instruments,
Okay.
and computers that help communicate all of that information real time to the folks that get it.
What
Cool.
is happening here?
So, we are about to lower this tower that is 10 meters tall because at 10 meters is where we measure ozone.
Okay, you told us about measuring ozone.
Yep.
And you said something about the ozone that you think of in the top of the atmosphere is different than the ozone down low. And I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm a little confused. I understand how the ozone in the atmosphere works, but I don't get this other thing you're talking about with ozone down low.
Yep, so we like to refer to it as ground level ozone. It has an impact on human health, it impacts vegetation, all the things around us at this level. The primary producer of it would actually be volatile organic compounds. So that is a constituent of a lot of emissions from cars and vehicles. But those compounds grab energy from the sun and convert oxygen into ozone at the ground level.
Whoa!
Yes.
What? I never even knew that. And then that affects everything on the ground, like
Everything.
plants, animals,
All of us.
people.
So that's why we monitor it.
Yep.
That's why we're promoting to not leave your car idling. If you have a chance to turn it off,
Yes.
please do so.
Turn the key.
That all affects both the air quality here in the park, but also the air east of us or wherever this air mass we're currently in is moving.
It's
Okay,
a way to
so
monitor.
yep, so we measure at 10 meters up, and we're gonna have Melissa lower the tower so we can change the filter.
And I have no idea what I'm doing, folks.
Yep. So I'm gonna remove this safety here.
Oh
Don't
my
worry,
gosh.
it's not actually dangerous.
Oh, man.
You're gonna grab this
Okay.
like you're going fishing,
Yeah.
and hold on.
I'm holding on.
Well, let it go, but
Okay.
and we're gonna bring the other end down. There we
Okay.
go.
That's awesome.
And on this end is the filter.
Do I tie anything up?
Nope, it's set.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see it.
So this inlet goes through a filter and up the tube and down the tube and into our shed where the analyzers analyze the air for ozone.
And you were telling me that you have to come every Tuesday. Why do you do
Yeah,
that?
so nationwide Tuesday is when these site visits happen. So while I'm just doing my little part here, I'm actually part of all of the other hundreds of folks doing this same thing on
Wow.
a Tuesday across the country.
Wow, that is so cool. So everybody's doing it at the same time. And I would imagine because it's the air and it goes everywhere, having that knowledge is important because this air could be in Seattle tomorrow.
That's right.
Awesome. That is super cool, Ed. Well, thanks for showing us I cannot remember what the name of it was. The ozone.
This is ozone, yep.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a phenometer and a nanometer. What is it called?
What? That's a nephelometer. A nanometer, parts per billion.
I'm so glad that not only are we monitoring all of this information here at Glacier, but like you said, collaborating with all these people across the nation and world to see how air quality is changing across the earth. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. If folks want to learn more about, all the different measurements we do for air, or even like water, or smoke, how do they find out more? And also, how can they contribute to not having bad air quality? Can you just tell us?
Right, yeah, there's a couple things. So Glacier specific, on our webpage, there are real-time measurements of ozone, for instance, is one of those. We also just got new smoke monitoring devices that once fire season gets here, you'll be able to monitor smoke impacts real time here in the park, as well as a lot of the regular weather measurements that you might think of, temperature, wind. What you can do, and what everyone can do, is pay attention to what you might be putting out in the atmosphere, meaning leave your car off when you don't need to. If you're burning things, do it responsibly. Don't make a ton of smoke if you don't have to. Pay attention to the things that you use, because all of the items that you use every day somehow had to be made, and depending on how those are made, might have emitted more emissions or not. Pay attention to your local areas, your cities, your landscapes, and where might pollution be coming from. All of those are good things to take note of and pay attention to, and just help you think more about what are you doing that influences the air quality, which in turn influences all your neighbors and everyone around you.
Yeah, and I guess eventually the whole globe. Be sure to look out, because we've got a lot more coming up this season for round 2. And I also want to give a quick shout out to the person who makes a lot of this happen, is our videographer, Renata Harrison, who's behind the camera, and you never see her. There she is. And she is great to get this all out to you and make these for all of us to enjoy. So thanks, Renata. Thanks everyone for joining us.
And happy Glacier Science Day!